Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I am going to be bringing you guys something a little different on the channel today. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of my favorite game of 2017, and that is Prey. Now, if you're not been a subscriber to my channel for a long time, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the studio Arkane, which does the Dishonored series, and I did a playthrough of Dishonored 2 on the channel. And I still want to do Dishonored Death of the Outsider on the channel at some point, because that was a really fun standalone DLC that they released last September. And I played through it once, and it was really great, and then I want to do another playthrough of it at some point. But this game was even better than that, in my opinion. I guess it's a spiritual successor to games like System Shock and BioShock. And it's sort of like Arkane has a certain style that they like to design around. They want everything to be very open. They want you to be able to interact with pretty much any object that's in the environment. They encourage a lot of exploration, a lot of creativity when it comes to problem solving and things like that. And it's just really, really fun. And I feel like the volume might be a little bit high. Let me turn that down just a tiny bit. And yeah, so I just think it's really fantastic. And there is going to be, or there's suspected to be, some DLC coming out for this in the relative near future. Like back at the beginning of March, they, kind of put some teasers up on Twitter about an expansion for the game that takes place on the moon base. Whether that's set in the same timeline as this game, or if it's set in the past, it's not abundantly clear. But just hearing about all of that got me really excited about Prey again. And so I was like, hey, we don't have any leagues up at the moment. We don't have anything going on for probably about 3 weeks. So why not try and cram in a bunch of episodes of Prey? And it probably will, excuse me, pour over a little bit to overlap with some of the league content that I have. But hopefully I can sort of stock up as we go along here. And as you can tell, I'm still in the middle of my coughing fit that I've had for the last few weeks. I guess I should go to a doctor, but I don't like doctors. Or maybe it's just not so much doctors that I dislike. I just feel lazy and don't want to go. I've been taking medicine to help deal with it a little bit, and I've got some water here. But anyway, I've been talking about how great this game is for 3 minutes already. I'm going to quick new game in here just a moment, but I'm just trying to figure out how much I want to reveal about this game before we get started. It takes place on a space station. You work for a company called Transstar, and it's set in 2032, 2033, sometime in the near future, and it's sort of set in an alternate timeline. It's set in on planet Earth, blah blah blah. And the alternate timeline is that John F. Kennedy survived his assassination attempt, and as a result of that, the United States invested extremely heavily in the space race, and that's what allows all of the technology that exists in this game to to exist. And it's a really neat concept, and there's a little bit of lore in the game that talks about exactly how that happened. But mostly, the fun part of this game is in the gameplay, and especially the exploration, like I've explained. So, let's just click New Game here. You can see I've beaten this game 3 separate times here. My first time was about 28 hours, and then 19 hours this time, and about 15 hours this time. So, I think for this playthrough, we're probably going to be somewhere in this 20-hour range. So, it'll be 30 to 40 episodes. We'll have to see how that goes. Which file do I want to overwrite? I guess this one. It doesn't really make a big difference to me anyway. And usually I've been playing on hard. Let's try Nightmare. That should be really fun. And then you have the option to choose between a male and a female character. I've played this game now twice as the female character. I'm going to do that again. It doesn't really make any difference. All the lines are exactly the same. It's just the voice acting that's different. So here we are in our apartment. And yeah, and the loading screens have these little texts that you can read, unless you're not fast enough, and it goes to the next loading screen. But I like what they do here. They ask you to push a button to continue. So that way, in case you go to the bathroom during a loading screen, you can walk away, and then as soon as you're ready to resume, you can hit start. And I tried to do some balancing before we started, but
Good morning, Morgan.
We'll see how it looks.
Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Yeah, so 2032 is what I thought. Ooh, naked Morgan. That's obviously a joke. I mean, not that she's actually naked, but that I'm like... Anyway. Anyway. So we have our little transceiver here, which is basically like a cell phone. I got a pre-order bonus. I get a special shotgun, which is not that important.
Hey, Morgan. Wake up. You're burning daylight. You sent the helicopter to pick you up.
Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen.
It's just a few tests.
There we go, okay.
Don't forget to wear your suit.
Sorry, it's been quite a while since I've played this game, so I just gotta get used to all the controls and stuff.
Oh, listen, really great you decided to come on board. We're gonna shake things up, Morgan. Like old times.
So, one of my favorite things about this game is, like, you get to pick up and interact with everything, and there's also a lot of junk that you can collect. You know, there's bottles and whatever, but like you have all this junk. Let me see if I can open my inventory. Yeah, you know, all this junk. You can actually convert this to parts later in the game, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. But yeah, like there's all these things that you can read. Heart of the Walk, talking about cooking, which is really cool. It's nice that Morgan is a fan of cooking. In all these different cabinets and stuff, there's food that you can take. So yeah, like it's very, very interactive. Which is a lot of fun. You can see here there's this thing that says carry, but you have to have a certain skill in order to do that, and we are not at that point yet. Let's see, we can go into the cabinet here. There's nothing that we can really play with here, but yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the game, is like being able to look for stuff. And you can also interact with computers. This is our personal computer, so we know the password to our computer. Other computers, you have to search for the password. Either in the environment or in books or whatever. So we'll click this to type in our password, and we can read some email here. So Thomas Tucker is welcoming us to TranStar, and then there's some other notes from Alex. Alex was the person who was talking to us on the phone earlier. He's our brother. And yeah, just some other things. You know, your mom and dad are members of the board of TranStar, so you know there's high expectations for this family. Yeah, and there's just other little cool pieces of lore. It's worth it to look at everything, not necessarily because, like, all of the lore is really useful, but it's a lot of fun to read. Like this quote here, to invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. But a lot of the text that you'll find, they do have little passwords or passcodes to different doors and stuff hidden on them. So hope you guys don't mind too much. I'm just sort of like becoming familiar again with all the controls. And yeah, you can even, you know, you can come in here, you can open this door and turn on the shower if you want. So yeah, very interactive, flushable toilets, all the really important stuff. But anyway, well, we can take some alcohol, which is good. Yeah, but what we need to do is grab our uniform, and we'll put that on, and then we can head on out to work. We got a nice glove. All right, let's head on out of our comfy apartment complex.
Morning, monsieur.
Hello. Is there a, I think there's a setting that I can change where it sprints automatically. Let's see, sprint, shift. Yeah, so that's shift, but how do I make it to where I'm always sprinting? It doesn't really matter. I'll do that off screen. All right. So let's come to here. So now we can click to go to roof. And like, you know, they want you to like this genre is called immersive sim, which I think is kind of a stupid name, but like basically they want you to feel like this is as real as possible, like that you kind of forget that it's a video game. So like, you know, when you go to prompt like this, it doesn't open up a menu or anything. It's like you're, you know, it's trying to simulate you actually pressing buttons and stuff. And I think it's neat. I definitely appreciate that. If you are interested in buying this game, I'll tell you right off the bat, you get an achievement if you do this. if you allow yourself to get killed by the helicopter blades, you get an achievement. I should have quick saved before we did that, but it might have auto saved for me. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's just really funny.
Hey, Morgan.
No, okay, so
Wake up. You're burning daylight.
did I already?
Send
No,
the
let's just quickly grab
helicopter to
this
pick you up.
junk.
It's just a few tests. Don't forget to wear your suit.
Sorry, I just want to read all these
Yes, sir.
emails because then they go into your
Listen,
log.
Really great you decided to come on board.
They go into your log, and that
We're
way,
gonna
like
shake
after you
things up,
leave
Morgan.
the computer, you
Like
can
old
look at
times.
them like from the menu. And I'll try and show you that real quick as soon as we're done putting on our thing. Yeah, but like we get our objectives here, and then yeah, here in data, like you can read all the emails that you've read. So I don't think it's particularly important. Like I don't know if there's an achievement with it or something, but just in case there
Morning,
is,
Miss You.
I figured I would do that. So, all right, let's try this all again. And we won't commit suicide this time. We're 11 minutes into this playthrough, and nothing has happened yet. So, yeah, now let's run on over to here and take off. And this is the intro sequence, if you couldn't tell by the music that's playing.
Ms. Yu, please make yourself comfortable and we'll be on our way. TranStar
Alright.
facility is just a short hop. 78 degrees. Clear skies all the way.
Yeah, but like even the way that they do this intro sequence is really cool because again, it doesn't want to like take you out of the game. Like it doesn't want you to like feel too much like you're playing a game. And so it does a good job of, you know, doing the title intro in the context of the game. Like obviously in reality those things don't exist.
That's a nice view on the bay there.
Like in this city that we're in, but you know, just the way that they added in here I think is really clever, and you can sort of move around and look at anything that you want. And I think on this next sign, this next building over here is the big 4-letter word is pray. It's at the top of this TranStar building. So here's TranStar, and this is where we're headed to. Also, this song is really good. I really like this song. And there it is, Prey. This game was so good. I was a little disappointed to hear that it didn't sell as much as maybe some people were anticipating. But I hope that doesn't deter Bethesda and Arkane Studios from following up with this game or games like it. Because, you know, there's so much...
Here we are, Ms. Yu.
So much,
Mind the glass on the way out.
So many
Good luck
games,
to you.
especially shooters, that are just peddling, like, multiplayer with loot boxes and microtransactions. And there's so few, like, core first-person... this isn't even a first-person shooter. Like, yes, it has shooting that happens to occur in first-person, but it's not a first-person shooter.
Hello, Dr. Yu.
Hello.
I'm a Sybil 495 science class operator.
Oh, thank you. The last frontier is the human mind, and we are its pioneers. And that is your dad, William Yu.
Welcome.
But yeah, like,
Morgan
just
Yu.
game
You have a
experiences like this are
9
so,
a.m. appointment in the testing
like, they're
facility.
just not common
Please
anymore,
confirm.
and I don't want the last few studios that make these sorts of games to disappear. Alright, so we gotta go down all these floors. And here we are.
Morgan! Finally!
Yes, finally. What's going on with that? Is that a Roomba? I can't zoom in right now, but I think that's supposed to be a Roomba, or you know, whatever the space equivalent of it is. You want to talk to me, Alex? There
Hey,
we go.
you don't look terrible in a TranStar uniform. How's your eye? Still red? I know the test might seem a little unconventional, but it's a Yu family tradition. Breaking convention is in our blood. Once you start the test, just do whatever comes natural. Don't overthink it. Dr. Bellamy's going to walk you through the process. You're in good hands. We'll be in
Alright.
orbit next week. I promise.
Mr. Yu, they're ready for your sister in room A.
Right. Listen, just be yourself. I'll see you after.
All right, thanks, Alex. It's. I just still don't quite understand the
Yu.
design choice to make Alex this sort of like kind of overweight Asian guy with like an Italian mobster voice, but I
They're
don't
waiting
don't
for you,
really.
ma'am.
I'm not particularly picky. Some magazines here. No big deal. Another Roomba. It's not really doing a good job. And there's a few little. We'll probably have to do it the next time we come through. There's a couple little Easter eggs in here. They'll have to note, like this skid mark, for example. We'll talk more about that when we finish this part. We have a little sort of tutorial, quote unquote, to go through.
Good morning, Morgan. I'm Dr. Bellamy. Looks like we have some tests to run through today. Probably not the kind of thing you're used to, I imagine, but trust me, you're going to do fantastic.
Thanks.
All good? Great. Let's begin. For this first test, I'd like you to remove the boxes from the red circle as quickly as you can. Just go with your gut. Okay? Wonderful. Press the red button when you're ready.
All right. We will do it. And there we go. 1, 2, 3.
Wonderful. You're absolutely fine. Let's move on to room B then.
Okay. On to room B. We'll do all of his tests very obediently.
Okay, Morgan. Listen carefully. I'd like you to do your best to hide
Some
in
jumping
this room.
jacks.
Take your time, relax, think it over. No, I'm kidding. You only have 9 seconds. Hit the red button when you're ready to start.
All right. Do we hide behind the chair? I'm gonna mix it up. Let me see if I can hide over here. We'll crouch.
Morgan, we can see you there.
There. How about this?
Any synaptic register? At all? No? No, that's fine. Sorry, let's
Seems
keep
very,
things moving, Morgan.
Seems a little
Head into room
disappointed.
C. You're doing marvelous.
Let's try and move on to the next room. Maybe we'll not disappoint him as much this time.
All right. Here we go.
He's like the most
For
boring
this
doctor
test,
ever as well.
Please press the blue button across the room as quickly as you can in the most natural, intuitive way possible, without thinking. Just go for it.
All right.
Press the red button when you're
Let's
ready.
just go for it. Ready, set, go. All right.
I'm sorry, can someone please explain to me what's happening? Simmons?
I installed exactly what Tina brought down.
What to heck?
Did you double check?
Speaker's still on.
Kind
I
of a
apologize,
jerk.
Morgan. We're having some trouble with the equipment. Not your fault. You're doing fabulous, actually. One last room. Let's step into D.
All right, let's step into D. All right, so last test. All right. We got a little computer here. Let's sit down.
Can someone get me a cup of coffee? I would appreciate it.
Yeah, let's keep a close eye on this coffee cup, fellas.
Okay, Morgan. Have a seat at the table for me, please. Wonderful job.
You can see it sort of on the
Take a
peripheral.
look at the screen in front of you. I'm going to show
We're
you a
gonna answer
series
some
of
questions.
questions. Pick the answer that makes the most sense to you. Press start on the screen when you're ready.
All right, let's hit start. You're planning a vacation. Go somewhere familiar you know you love, or try something new. Let's try something new.
Good. You got the hang of it. Keep going.
Oh, what the heck? Why is there an echo? I don't really know what that's about. You've been sentenced to death for your actions. How does this make you feel? Let's go with afraid.
Ooh, that's heavy stuff.
Okay, the echo's gone. A runaway train is bearing down on 5 people who are tied to the track. You can cause the train to switch tracks, but there's one person tied to the second track. This is sort of a meta question, and we'll get into that probably by the time the game's over, so not anytime soon. But let's say, I guess, from a practical perspective, switch tracks.
Good. Next.
A runaway train is bearing down on 5 people. You're standing on the platform next to an enormously fat man. Pushing him into the track would stop the train. Again, let's do the practical question.
Almost done.
I think in reality, I don't think I would do either of those options, because it's like a classic ethical dilemma of like, yes, from like a mathematical perspective, it's better, but like it's more of like, you're like physically putting someone else in harm's way. So is that like, the act of actually doing that, is that better or worse than allowing that many more people to die, even if you like aren't totally responsible for that? Let's just say push the fat man.
You know what? I'd probably do the same thing.
What a turd.
Well done. Well done. We're nearly through it. For this next part, I'm going to display an image. I want you to take a good look at it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you what... is my coffee? It's empty. I thought
Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
Holy
Security!
shit.
Security!
Holy shit. Door's locked. What's going on? Okay, we're getting gassed. Alright, okay. And we're unconscious. So, what the hell just happened? Something not good.
Alex,
Well,
Simmons, what's going on?
we have a problem.
What about Morgan?
She's alive, sedated.
Clean it up. I'm on my way.
what does that mean? Clean it up. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep playing to find out.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
It's March 15th. That was the same day as what we started the day on, or started the game on, so something is fishy. We woke up in our same apartment, exact same, except the music is different now. And let's see what's going on with our little transceiver here. We got a whole lot of nothing. Let's just put our uniform on and figure out what to do next. Okay. All of our food is back. Well, I guess we never picked it up after we killed ourselves the first time, but even this stuff is back, and I know that I took this. Let's go to our computer. We have 60 mils now. Danger, leave now. Danger, 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 danger. Okay. So there's definitely something funny. Let's open the door, and that person is hella dead. That person is
Hello, Morgan. It's time we spoke.
super dead.
My code name is January. You're not dreaming. What happened yesterday was real. If you want to know what's going on, first, you need to get out of your apartment building. You're not safe.
Alright, well, the problem is that now there's a door, or there's no door here anymore. There's, can we, go outside? And surprise! There was never an outside. There was never an outside. Take the note. Midnight to 7:30, sleeping. 7:31, wakes up, turns off alarm. 7:32, checks transcribe. 7:34 to 7:55, on computer, various tasks. Takes shower, puts on uniform, exits apartment. We've been being monitored.
Good. You're in the simulation lab. Now get to the exit. I'll keep in contact.
So, what?
Hey, Morgan. Wake up. You're burning daylight. You sent the helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few tests. Don't forget to wear your suit. See you soon. Oh, listen. Really great you decided to come on board. We're gonna shake things up, Morgan. Like old times.
So, there's definitely something weird going on. Pigeon test, I like that. Let's see, emails. If you've been on branches of our main product line, you know that sometimes we need to put in extra effort to hit our milestones, and any external risks are fully taken into account when these decisions are made. The move to extend indefinitely was a direct request from both Alex and Morgan. What was this in response to? Dr. Bellamy. At this point, Morgan's exhaustion is inhibiting our ability to get any useful results. That's to say nothing of the long-term damage we're likely inflicting from the constant Neuromod installation and removal. Tell me again why we're extending the testing indefinitely? And then here's an email about this morning. I know that this morning's incident has left people shaken. To prevent unnecessary panic, please refrain from contacting people outside of your department. A station-wide announcement will be made shortly. In the meantime, Ms. Elazar and her security team are on high alert and will field any requests you have. I know some of you are worried about Dr. Bellamy. He's currently being treated in the trauma center in his critical but stable condition. Thank you for your patience and dedication to this project. So, what the hell? Something is going on where we are being tested on, and we're not showing very good signs. There's this thing here, the simulation debriefing, and a sort of creepy-ass looking chair, which is very weird. Manufacturing order number 65489, delivered to Marco Simmons. So this is Marco Simmons' desk. Yeah, so this is what you have to do in this game. You have to kind of be on the lookout for, like, passwords and things like that in the nearby environment. It's not always that easy, but this is a good way for it to introduce this concept to you, you know, without having necessarily a pop-up menu telling you that. You know, we don't... Yeah, this is funny. Password protection. Do not share your password with anyone. Do not write down passwords and store them anywhere in your office. And it was, of course, just sitting right there. Simmons, the test results today were all negative. Did you install the correct Neuromods? Touch base with Graves and figure out what went wrong. This should be your absolute highest priority. Now, there's a few Easter eggs in this room, but I don't want to reveal them yet. I want them to arise organically. There is a safe here, and we don't know the code. We could hack it if we had enough points in hacking, but we're not quite there yet. You see our diploma here. Or I don't know if this is our diploma or the diploma of Simmons, whose office this is. But we do see this whiteboard here. You see the safe code is blank. So that is the safe code to this, but it's been erased. So we're going to have to figure that out later. But yeah, super duper awkward. Okay, little blurb about the wrench. Not that important. We can go up here, take some tubing. That's nice. Yeah, but you can see, so this... I think over here is how you get to the other side of, no, this is, yeah, this over here is, going to the hallway that we are in, so these were never anyone's apartments. Okay. Yes, okay, there we go, it's a mimic. Alright. So, mimics, as the name might imply, can copy whatever object is in the environment and use it to blend in. And it's a really good way to get like some cheap jump scares in this game. And they can be quite startling if you're not prepared for it. And like there's very few that are pre-scripted. Like that one's not even pre-scripted. Oh, we could also have gotten out this way. But anyway. Or through here. But yeah, I'm just exploring because I like to pick up all the loot before I move on to the next thing. But you can see through this window here, this is where we are being tested on. This is where the doctors were. Those are the rooms that we were in. And there's some tentacles, some tendrils that are sticking up out of that testing chamber there. So that is spooky. We can hit TV screens because we're angry. We've been lied to this whole time. Oh, and then here is another way into our room. But okay, enough screwing around. There's an elevator here. Let's go to the roof. But the roof, spoilers, is just over here. It was all a trick. We can come over here, break this glass. We can't actually do anything with this right now, but we'll come back to it. But yeah. Now we can come over here. So this is the entrance to the lab that we saw. And here's an elevator. Confirm. So when you hit confirm, it now goes to this office configuration. Which is definitely weird. But you can see, like, let me try and go into this room here. First, let me grab this med kit. We can go here, go to utilities. Let's click rooftop entrance. So there's a wall that closes off here. And this is what corresponds to the skid marks that you see on the floor. And then there's this sign here from Bill U. Let's quickly change this again, see if we can race out of here. Nope, come on. Yes, and here's the sign. The last frontier is the human mind, and we are its pioneers. So that's what we saw when we came in, and again, you just reset it by hitting confirm. So this is all totally staged. That's not our apartment. We're not going to a TranStar facility. Something is being manipulated here, and we're not exactly sure what. We can reset all of the test rooms. Let's click this email, and this is just the same email about the accident. So we can go this way through the testing chamber. That's spooky as hell.
Typhon cacoplasmus. Everyone calls them mimics. Be careful what you pick up.
And this is... So this is where we saw it a second ago. So there's the mimic there. So that's what that prompt was for. I'm just going to just beat the hell out of this thing. Although they're pretty nimble, and you have a limited amount of stamina with which to use your wrench, so it's kind of dangerous. There's some other weapons that you can get to better deal with the mimics. Let's get some crumpled up paper. This is somebody's desk. Note about this morning. Morgan's behavior. Alex has requested all orders to go through him after Morgan's outburst at the debrief. Pending a psych evaluation, Alex indicated he doesn't want any more surprises from Morgan. Nor do we. Granted, Morgan had forgotten everything from the last test, as expected. But the aggressive response to the same set of testing criteria was clearly a departure. My recommendation is we need to start charting personality drift before futures tests, in debriefings, and within the test itself. So that's from Dr. Bellamy, who got attacked right around here. And this was the poor, the mug that
Alex,
copied. That got
Simmons,
copied.
What's going on?
We have a problem.
What about Morgan?
She's alive, sedated.
Clean it up. I'm on my way.
So that was the message that we heard after we got put unconscious. Is there anything else here I want to grab? There's a burnt circuit board, science operator that is totally dead. Yeah, but again, you can see this was this goes into our bedroom over there. So let's keep moving. I know I'm going slow, but I'm having fun exploring everything, and hopefully you guys are not too frustrated by that. Alright, let's quickly go this way, because I know there's a few pieces of loot that we can grab over here. And I think I just saw one of those transform from a mimic. Yes, okay, mimic there. Kill it dead, okay. Got it. And there's these tumors here that you can get, but only if you have a certain upgrade called necropsy. Okay, so we killed that thing. Oh, so this is the thing we can do. Okay, so let's go to Echelon Roof, which is our apartment building, and you can see now it transformed this whole place into looking like the roof of our apartment building. And there's the TranStar building all the way over there. And then we can click TranStar Roof, and then it'll change it to look like we flew over to that building. And then it'll set all of the glass back to normal, except for the few pieces that we broke, which are somewhere. But yeah, LG power, looking glass off. So Looking Glass is a technology that sort of does just like three-dimensional screen, like, you know, three-dimensional television screen, and it plays a predominant part in this game for sharing messages and stuff like that, and it's really cool. And it's sort of a oh, hang on. Okay, I was gonna say that's totally a mimic. The way that thing was freaking out. But it's a cool throwback to an old game studio called Looking Glass, and they were the ones who made like the original System Shock, I think. And he's oh god, okay. Mr. Gravilovic is super duper dead. Look at that. And then what's even more creepy is that now we have 4 mimics pop up as a result of that.
No one has been able to stop the mimics from multiplying since they broke containment. I'm going to help you stay alive. Just a little further.
Yeah, totally sucks. But hey, we got a baseball glove off of him, so that was neat. And then now, you know, now that you kind of understand what mimics are, like, you're always kind of walking around carefully, never knowing, you know, what's a mimic and what's real. Like, we can come in here, like, are these boxes mimics? There's his desk here. Urgent. I think Bellamy has taken data related to mimicry and remote manipulation out of his research department. Get to the trauma center and grab the key card to his office off his body, or to his cabin off his body. I'm sorry to be morbid, but Alex will lose his shit if someone else finds that data. So that's a cool little side quest that we can do. We just have to find Bellamy, and you know, they're talking about taking it off of his body, which sort of implies that he's dead, which contradicts what this says here. He's saying he's in stable and critical but stable condition. So somebody is not letting on everything that they need to know. And so here's sort of like the standard intro for Arkane games. Play your way. You know, you get a bunch of different approaches to overcome challenges and enemies. And so they're saying either find the key card or find an alternate path. And so, you know, this is pretty, you know, this is a pretty simple challenge. But you can come in here, you can, oh, there is definitely a mimic right here. Kill it dead, kill it dead. Alright. Super dead. Okay, there's a key card here that we can snag, and oh, and there's another mimic, and god, those things are so fast. I like forgot how fast those damn things are. We can also throw that at it. Oh shit, okay. Alright. Please, nothing else come in here. I don't have any stamina. That's going to be like one of the first upgrades I take, is getting more stamina. Okay, Dr. Bellamy. Dr. Bellamy, here are the results from today's personality test. So this is the same test results that we did a moment ago, where we pushed the fat man, etc. Dr. Bellamy, at this point, Morgan's exhaustion is inhibiting our ability to get any useful results. This is the original email that we read in the simulation lab. It says, Sil, yes, I've noticed the same thing. You know I can't divulge names, but there's definitely been a spike in staff from your department reporting instances of acute anxiety. It's actually much worse with the psychotronics staff. I'm talking to Kelstrup about mitigating some of the stress there, but I'm concerned that these are not isolated incidents. I'm going to mention it to Alex at the next director's meeting. So that's kind of spooky. All of the, everyone in psychotronics is sort of having some anxiety issues. Okay. This is for, yeah, Morgan U. Room A, Room B, Room C. Pass, 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 pass. Apparently, whatever this is yesterday, so February 23rd, we failed all 3. Was that yesterday? I don't remember. I just remember it was March something, 2032, not February. I think there's one more mimic somewhere in this room. Not 100% sure where. Crumbled paper. We can't get into this. We don't have any points in hacking. Okay, then let's click this thing. I'll send you the white paper Alex and Morgan wrote. Here's the nutshell version for now. Getting a new skill from a neuromod works similar to the way your brain creates new memories. In fact, it's impossible for now to separate the changes the mod makes for normal memory formation. So if I want to strip the neuromod that makes you play piano like Gustav Leitner, it'll reset your brain back to the moment before you first installed it. They wanted Morgan's mind pristine to receive the prototype Neuromods. That means going way the hell back. Hence the apartment sim. User dedicated to their science is all I can say. So it's not totally clear just from this what they're trying to say here. But it'll make more sense once we get a Neuromod, which they do refer to there. Okay, just want to go over here real quick. And there's a... I was like, okay, this is the last spot. There has to be a mimic here. And there was. So anyway, so we do have the key card to get into here, but the other option that you could have done was to go through this maintenance panel. And this is like a throwback to classic Deus Ex or System Shock style games where you're always going through ventilation ducts and things like that. And now we can come out the other side, no problem. And we get our first look at this enemy. Ooh.
That was a phantom. Typhon Anthrophantasmus. Keep moving.
Yeah, so phantoms, super duper spooky. Super duper spooky. And like that's, the phantoms come from, the corpses of dead humans, which is really haunting. And it'll get to the point where some phantoms like have names that are above their heads. Control panel that we can get if we get repair. But before we get repair, we have to get one of the coolest weapons in the game. Let's of course take out this mimic first. That seemed trapped, and it was trapped inside of this glue. So this is probably my favorite weapon in the game, is the glue cannon. Jellifoam, lattice, organism, obstructor, like, you know, sort of a cheesy acronym or whatever. But it works, you know, kind of like what it sounds like. You use it, and it makes these big giant chunks of things, and you can use it to capture enemies. You can use it to build new pathways. Like this person was able to build it to sort of get up to here, where this dead person seems to be living, which is sort of spooky. And we can pull them down, which I'm sure they didn't really appreciate. But yeah, like again, like it's really cool in this game that they give like everything a name. But yeah, then you can break open all of the glue just by beating it with a wrench, which is pretty easy. I don't think there's any point in beating all this down right now. Oh, but there's a thing. Let's take this as an opportunity to show off our new weapon. So yep, there we go. And the mimic's totally dead. So the glue gun helps if it immobilizes the mimic, and then also it makes it so that it takes more damage, which is really nice. There's a security booth here. We can't get in right now because we don't have the password.
Morgan, there, in the foyer. Grab the Neuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The Neuromods are critical. You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes.
Oh shit, I'm dead. I forgot I'm playing on Nightmare. Okay. I gotta be a little more careful then. So let's get the Neuromod, and then that'll be a good place to cut the first episode. Really? I'm all the way back here? Okay, I'll just cut it, and then we'll come back in a moment.
Morgan, there, in the foyer. Grab the Neuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The Neuromods are critical. You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested. Take a look.
Alright, I know there's still one more. Where'd you motherfuckers go? Alright, let's quick save here. Alright. That way we can just pick right back up. Okay. I don't know where the last one is, but I'm just gonna get the Neuromod. Alright, take the Neuromod. Neuromods and abilities. The Neuromod is a revolutionary TranStar invention that allows you to learn new skills and abilities. Press N to open your transcribe, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, I don't think I'm going to end up installing anything right now because I only have one. But basically right now we have 3 different options to go down. We have scientist, we have engineer, and we have security. So scientist gives us things related to hacking, health, etc. Engineers, like a lot of fixing things and doing better recycling and whatever. And security is a lot of like fighting-based abilities. So one of the best things that you can do to start this game is to get necropsy as soon as possible. And so to unlock that, I have to get this physician level 1. So we'll actually go ahead and we'll get this neuromod. And you'll see exactly what happens when you spend a neuromod and what it takes to install it. You gotta shove a needle all the way in through your eye, which is horrifying. So, anyway.
Good thinking. You'll be ready for a medical emergency. Now, let's get you to the main lobby.